I'm watching the news and I'm listening to the things that John Kasich has said and the things that uh, Ted Cruz has said, and I find the hypocrisy hilarious. You know, you had Ted Cruz calling for John Kasich to leave the race because he mathematically could not get enough votes to carry him through for a win during the first vote of the convention. Now, Ted Cruz losing New York last night, it has become mathematically impossible for him to reach the 1,237 votes that he needs to secure the nomination. John Kasich, I think last night or this morning, has put out a presser saying that Ted Cruz should leave the race because it is mathematically impossible for him to get the nomination. Now, I get why John Kasich's staying in. I don't agree with it, but I get it. He wants to, whether he's working for Trump or working for Cruz, wants to secure that he would get a vice presidential nod from one of those two. I get that. Marco Rubio's already left the race, so he's not really considered a contender. And so John Kasich is, hoping and praying that if he goes to a convention, that he could either A, win outright, which is not going to happen, or B, he would become the vice presidential nominee by bringing his delegates into whoever offers him the job. So if it was Donald Trump, it would put Donald Trump over the top. If it was Ted Cruz, it would put Ted Cruz over the top. So I get the strategy. I don't agree with it, but I get it. Ted Cruz, on the other hand, he doesn't seem to want the vice president, the office of vice president. So for him today to now say that it's going to Cleveland, let the people decide, I find hilarious because the very fact that Donald Trump, who I'm not a huge fan of, to be honest with you, I think that he's a wolf in sheep's clothing. I think that he has tendencies that are very pro-Democrat and anti-Republican, anti-conservative. So I'm not too thrilled with him. And Ted Cruz, I think, is just really, he reminds me of a used car salesman, a cheap used car salesman, who just will say anything to get you to buy what he's selling. Or a slimy 1980s televangelist who will, again, say anything to get you to buy what he's selling. And he'll resort to any tactic, which the very platform that he stands on, being a Christian with Christian values, conservative values, you don't think that he would pull some of the tricks that he's pulling. Just seems dishonest to me, disingenuous. So, I find it funny that, Ted Cruz asking, or saying, not asking, but saying that John Kasich should leave the race because he can't get there. And now he's saying that he's going to take it so the people can decide. The people have decided. Whether you like Donald Trump or not, he has a command of this election. The amount of votes that he has is overwhelming compared to Ted Cruz or John Kasich, and the delegates that he's racked up is a lot more. I don't know. I think it's like 854 to 6 something with Ted Cruz, or I don't know what the exact number is, but it's a lot. And he's going to gain a lot more before the convention. So if Ted Cruz's whole thing is, he wants to see what the will of the people is, I think the will of the people is spoken, at least for this party. It's not, it shouldn't go to delegates. I get why delegates are there. I think that the purpose for them is, when you have very tight races, where you really want to get the pulse of the will of the people, okay, then you use the delegate system, okay? But when you have one one candidate who's overwhelmingly beating the others, and he just doesn't make the 1237, I think you're thwarting the will of the people by saying that it should go to the convention, and we're going to woo and promise delegates these various different things, and that's not the will of the people, and that's why people think that this race is not the race, but elections are rigged. That's why so many people are upset by the elections. I don't know how many times in my life I've heard people say, "Why should I vote? My vote doesn't count for anything." This is proving it. This is proving that your vote means nothing. Okay, because we have a candidate in the Republican Party. Again, I don't really like any of them, but I like all of them more than I like Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders. But none of them are that great. But you have at least one candidate who's saying, "Listen, man, this system's rigged, and it's not rigged so that the people win. It's rigged so that special interests and people that can grease palms can get the presidency. The presidency shouldn't be up for sale. It should be something that first of all, the president is a servant, not a king, and second of all, he's supposed to earn our trust and our respect. Well, when you're giving elections away based on whether or not you can give somebody a trip to Hawaii, or promise them that they'll be invited to special dinners with the Queen of England, or whatever the promises are and gifts are, you're really buying the election. You're not earning it. So I just see all kinds of hypocrisy, and it just really is, it's disheartening. I really hope they get it together before the convention. I really hope that this party can come together, because I really believe in my heart that I'm seeing my party's in its death throes. I think that something's going to happen here, and it's not going to be good. So again, my 2 cents and my rant. Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, comment if you'd like, and I'll talk to you again soon.